And when Tyler's saying, there's a monster in there, Tyler's the one behind the glass while you're listening to the music, so don't tap the glass. Just let the monster tweak out in there. It's gay to go down on a woman as a man! I didn't know that. Mask is off. This is who I am. Or leave me alone. It's Tyler, the creator, in general. He is my favorite artist right now. I've been a fan of him since I was 19. Long time ago. That was back when Bastard came out, I want to say. And I was like an edgy teenager. I'm like an edgy adult today. So that kind of music was right up my alley. Even though I wasn't a huge hip-hop fan back then, Tyler, I felt, brought something to the table that I could enjoy. So I just continued listening to him. And I feel like every project is better than the last. I feel the same way about Ghost. Every album or every project is better than the last. It's amazing. Same goes for Tyler. And my lips are numb. That's an effect of the albuterol. When it starts sounding like I'm stroking out, I'm not stroking out, I just numb myself on purpose to deal with the pain, teeth. But this album is freaking awesome. And it's the perfect follow-up, in my opinion, to Chromacopia. It's a ton of fun, and it's basically what I feel Tyler was telling people in Chromacopia. I have been trying, this is how I feel about what Tyler was maybe trying to accomplish there, or at least one of the things. But it's like, Chromacopia came out, and Tyler, I've been trying to tell y'all that I'm gay for 20 years at this point, but you won't listen to me. And I know he's not gay, he's bisexual, or pansexual, he's one of the two. I'm pretty sure pansexual. I think he just straight up says it in Chromacopia. But still, people were not listening. That's part of this album. I have been telling you this. Why are you not listening to me? You hear my words, but you're not listening to me. You hear my words, but you're not listening to me. And so, there's one song in particular that gives me that message, and it's Don't Tap the Glass / Tweaking. So, the beginning of the song, of course, it's the Don't Tap the Glass. Then it transitions into Tweaking, which is like a separate song. And I feel like after Chromacopia came out and Tyler said, I'm not wearing a mask anymore. I'm not going to pretend anymore. I'm not going to play into any kind of narratives that you have about me anymore. The mask is off. This is who I am. Or leave me alone. And it's still... the vibe I get is that people are still not comprehending what Tyler was trying to tell them. So after Chromacopia, and he drops the mask and is fully embracing who he really is, truly and in your face, people are probably treating him like something's different. Bro, you changed. What's the deal? And that's why I think I'm tweaking where that comes from. Or people in his life are probably telling him, Tyler, what's going on with you? You're tweaking, bro. I'm tweaking so freaking hard, you can't even handle it. Stuff like that. And I love that. I think that's awesome. Don't tap the glass as well. I made a short about it. Don't know how many people saw that. But I think the title, Don't Tap the Glass, is about tapping your phone screen. Don't tap the glass. Don't skip any songs. Listen to the whole album. And when Tyler's saying, there's a monster in there, Tyler's the one behind the glass while you're listening to the music, so don't tap the glass. Just let the monster tweak out in there. See what I mean? I could be completely off base. I don't know, like I say. But that's the message I received from the album. And another thing I want to say, ra-ta-ta-ta, they ain't never heard a ninja that talked like that. That's about going down on women, right? And whenever Tyler talks about you talk like a ninja that ain't never had a fish in their mouth, he's talking about a vagina, right? He's talking about going down on women. You ain't never heard a ninja that talk like that? I know that in my life, hanging out with a ton of white dudes, anytime I bring up going down on a woman, at least 3/4 of the people I'm talking to are like, what? It's gay to go down on a woman as a man! I didn't know that. But I keep pushing it, I ain't gonna stop. I love it. I love doing it. I ain't gay, I ain't straight, I'm more like pansexual. Tyler is here, so fish could just mean genital, really. You ain't never had genitals in your mouth. Either or. And you should. It's really good, guys. It's not gay. If you are a man who loves women, it's not gay to go down on a woman. I can't believe I have to say that, but I've seen it so many times in my life that it is just insane. It is hard to comprehend. And what else? I always have things I want to address whenever I start a stream. Now to Tyler, earlier I said that I have a whole project planned for the Tyler, the creator stuff, and just to give a sample of like what the idea is. Real quick before I do that. This album. So what I want to do, and I might make a video or I might just do it on stream, just depends on how I feel the day that inspiration strikes. I've listened to all of these albums more than I should. Like, let me see if I can pull this up. Where would I even find it? I think right here. Yeah. 0.6% of listeners November. Oh, that's just a picture. That's Darcy. That's my girl. But this every month. If it's not him, it's Tyler. If it's not him, it's Kendrick Lamar or Ghost. And usually between 0.5 and 1% top listener. Because I just listen to it every day. I love it. Especially if I'm in the car. But that's not what I'm here for. And yeah, I just got the YouTube app on my PC. It's more convenient that way. Let me just make sure one more time that I didn't use audio. I didn't. Hello, people here. How y'all doing? So what I'm thinking about doing, what my plans are for the project, like I say, I've listened to all of these albums a million times, and I want to start with Bastard. I wish I could listen to them on stream. That would be awesome. But I don't, as far as I'm aware, you can't do that. But what the plan is, or the idea, is I would go through every album and describe how it made me feel, and I would describe what I feel like Tyler was trying to communicate with the album. Because I don't do interviews, like, don't ask me for, I don't read interviews, watch interviews of the artist I love. I want to try to extract their meaning and message from the music itself without having to go look into what the artist meant. And I do this all the time with every artist, and there have been times where I'll be like, I feel like this album was about this, talking to someone. I'll be like, no, that's not what it's about. I read this interview with the singer or songwriter, and they said almost the exact opposite. It's like, oh. But then there's also been times where I said, I feel like this album is about this, and they were trying to communicate this message. And the other person will be like, yeah. Like, oh, I see you Pitchfork interview. I'm like, no. That's just, I listened to what he said, or what she said. So the idea would be to go from album to album, trying to figure out what exactly Tyler was trying to communicate with that project. Because I have been thinking Tyler was gay since like 2011. Like, to me, listening is just like, all I hear is Tyler say, I love men, I love having sex with men, it's awesome. I keep trying to tell people around me that I want to bang them, but they won't listen. So for me, when Chromacopia came out, and it was Tyler's like, this is it! You listen to me, I'm telling you what I am, how I feel. And it's still, people, it just blows my mind. And then we get Don't Tap on the Glass, where he's like, yeah, I'm tweaking, yeah, I'm freaking out. I just think that's awesome. So cool. So I'm saying, I want to go all this old music again and see if I can find those hints that I feel like I was picking up on that other people were not. And see if maybe there's something to this. Maybe I'll go back through his discography and I'll be like, yeah, he didn't kind of mention it like that. Because I know that's when a lot of people started waking up to it, that he's not straight. And it really genuinely blew my mind when I was having a conversation with a friend one time. I was like, yeah, at the time I thought it's gay. I didn't know he was pansexual. So I was talking to my friend and I was like, yeah, I thought about that, but Tyler's super gay. Whatever I'm talking about, I was like, Tyler's gay though. You know, he don't do women. My friend was like, what? It freaked him out. It's super homophobic. I don't want to go into it right now. But it just blew my mind. And usually, like, the super homophobic people, they up on the signals before normal people, because they're looking at that stuff. They're afraid of it, you know? And I just had to, I got in the dude's face. I was like, what do you think he meant by why the fuck is she here? This 60-40 just ain't working? I want 100 of your time? That's about the man. He's singing about the dude. Like, I just couldn't understand how I wasn't picking up on this a long time ago. It's just like, what do you mean? The whole album is about him trying to steal a girl's boyfriend, right? Maybe I'm wrong. The album, that's what I got. That's 100% what I got. And Then on his next project, Call Me If You Get Lost, he would call back to that album. And he was like, no, was it on Call Me If You Get Lost? I think it was, where he said, you ain't talked to your bitch in 3 days. It ain't gotta be this way. I'm down for the threesome. Did you not hear the words out of Tyler's mouth? He just literally said that him and a man who's in a relationship have been kept up in a hotel room for 3 days doing gay stuff, and his woman, his girl, is worried. The guy, Tyler himself's girlfriend, he ain't talked to her in a while and it's freaking her out. But Tyler's saying, ain't gotta be that way, bro. Bring her in here with us. We can all get, we'll go to Paris. You know what that means. We'll go to Paris, but people still weren't picking up on it. So at that point, I guess what I feel is Tyler had to just go drop the freaking nuke and be like, Chromacopia! Chromacopia! I am a polyamorous freak, and if you can't deal with that, then F off. And to me, I'm like, I love that stuff. You know what you think, I think it's for a little series, but maybe not. And disclaimer, I cannot stand the Wigger Squad. I tried to watch it back in the day, and I've tried to rewatch it older, and it's just not for me. I can understand why other people like it, but it's just not for me. What else do I go over? This album came out in 2015. There it is. This album was weird. I think it's really good. I like this album, but it is strange. Although that had a thumbs down. I feel like this is Tyler was really kind of coming out the closet. Yes, he was embarrassed, just judging by the album cover. And I remember at the time, people really didn't like this album, but I liked it. I really liked the woman, I don't know her name, to be honest, but she yells Tamale a lot. But I feel like this is where he kind of started coming out, the people started picking up on it a little bit, but not really seeing it, like maybe picking up on it a little bit and being like, I don't know about that album. And I don't know if Tyler decided it's best just to go back in the closet for right now, and he decided screw that on Igor and went for it. Because I know people really didn't like this album when it came out. But I don't know why. It's a good album.